DNA testing, also known as genetic testing, is a scientific method used to analyze a person's genetic material. The material is called DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid. It helps identify changes or variations in genes, chromosomes, or proteins that might be linked to specific traits or conditions. It has revolutionized science, medicine, and even personal identity exploration. Today, the most common purpose of DNA testing is ancestry background. The goal is to find your ethnic origins or trace your family history. It's human nature to want to better understand ourselves by connecting with our past. A report from a DNA test will give you a clearer picture of who you are by pinpointing your ethnic and geographical origins. These tests are good at estimating the percentages of your ethnicity, where your relatives lived, and your common ancestors in geographical groups. The majority of Ancestry DNA tests provide you with a list of DNA matches, individuals who have taken the test and who share a percentage of DNA with you. For example, Ancestry as a company has a DNA database of over 18 million users, making it incredibly likely that you'll get a large number of DNA matches. You'll not only learn how much DNA you share, but also an estimate of the familial relationship. This can be especially fulfilling for individuals who were adopted, are looking for lost relatives, or want to find unknown family connections. We all have a unique DNA genetic code inside of us. You can order a DNA test kit from the company test provider or visit a participating laboratory location. Your DNA is collected either by cheek swab or saliva sample. Most companies provide a prepaid envelope to send the test sample back. The time it takes to get results for an Ancestry DNA test typically ranges from 2 to 8 weeks, depending on the company providing the test. This includes the time needed to ship your DNA sample to the lab, process the sample, analyze the data, and generate your results. Some companies might offer expedited services or status updates so you can track the progress. Most DNA test kits are priced between $49 and $99. There may be additional charges for shipping, expedited services, family tree builders, and help finding relatives. Ancestry DNA tests work by comparing your DNA to other people around the globe who have taken the same DNA test. Keep in mind that no DNA test is 100% accurate, and the chances of finding possible matches depends on the size of the company database of previous users. There are 3 types of Ancestry DNA testing: Autosomal, Mitochondrial, and Y-chromosome. Autosomal DNA, the most common Ancestry DNA test, analyzes autosomes, which are the chromosomes that you inherit from both of your parents. This test can go back as far as 10 generations ago. Mitochondrial DNA is the kind that's passed down exclusively from your mother. This shows the ancestry of your maternal line. Y-chromosome is inherited from father to son, which means that is only done on men. This test shows the pattern of your paternal line all the way back to Africa tens of thousands of years ago. There are risks and implications related to Ancestry DNA tests that need to be taken into consideration when choosing a provider. Ancestry DNA tests can be fascinating, but they come with risks and implications that are worth considering. Privacy concerns. Your genetic data is uniquely yours, but sharing it with companies can lead to privacy risks. Some companies may share your data with third parties for research or other purposes. Data security. Genetic data is sensitive, and hacking or data breaches could expose your personal information. Legal implications. DNA tests can reveal unexpected family connections, which might lead to inheritance disputes or other legal challenges. Emotional impact. Discovering unknown relatives or health risks can be emotionally overwhelming and may affect family dynamics. Law enforcement access. In some cases, law enforcement agencies may use genetic databases to solve crimes, potentially implicating relatives. It's essential to read the privacy policies and terms of service of any DNA testing company before proceeding. Other types of DNA tests are used for more professional, legal, and specific requirements. These types of tests can identify changes in the genes, chromosomes, or proteins in your body. These genetic testing take a sample of your blood, skin, hair, tissue, or amniotic fluid. Medical tests. These are used to identify genetic predispositions to diseases or inherited conditions. A DNA test or genetic testing is a medical test that can identify mutations in your genes, chromosomes, or proteins. These mutations can indicate if you have or don't have a genetic condition, and also identify your risk for developing a certain condition or passing on a genetic disorder. Some of the most common diseases and conditions that can be identified with a medical DNA test are Down syndrome, Huntington's disease, cystic fibrosis, sickle cell disease, phenylketonuria, colon cancer, and breast cancer. As science advances, more will be added. Paternity and maternity test helps to find biological relationships, who is the mother or father of a baby. A DNA paternity test can help accurately determine a child's biological father. You can conduct tests during pregnancy or after your baby is born. Most tests use cheek swabs to collect genetic material. This test is useful for gaining legal rights to child support, child custody, social security benefits, and inheritance. DNA paternity test results usually list a probability of paternity as two values, 0 or 99.9, from very unlikely to very likely. It's important to mention that DNA ancestry tests are not useful to prove paternity. Paternity tests are expensive and not covered by health insurance in the US. At-home tests are around $200 plus typical lab fees of $100. A test in a medical setting cost is around $500, all depending on types of tests, providers, and locations. Forensics test. Effective solving crimes by analyzing genetic material at crime scenes. The method for DNA profiling as we know it today is largely attributed to Sir Alec Jeffreys, a British geneticist. Jeffreys' groundbreaking work led to real-world applications, from immigration disputes to solving crimes. He discovered it in September 1984. DNA evidence was first used in the criminal case of Linda Mann and Dawn Ashworth in 1986. Since then, many countries have started compiling their own national DNA databases. The UK established its National DNA Database in 1995. Today, it has more than 6 million registered people. In the US, the National DNA Index System has DNA information for more than 16 million criminal offenders, and more than 5 million have been arrested. The Interpol's DNA database, an international DNA database, was created in 2002 and currently has more than 300,000 profiles from almost 90 countries. Since 1989 in the US, 575 wrongly convicted people have been exonerated based on DNA samples. According to the National Registry of Exonerations, 35 of whom were on death row. Personalized medicine. Tailoring medical treatments based on an individual's genetic makeup. DNA testing plays a pivotal role in personalized medicine, tailoring medical treatments to an individual's genetic makeup. Here's how it works. Pharmacogenomics. By analyzing your DNA, doctors can determine how your body metabolizes certain medications. This helps in prescribing drugs that are most effective for you while minimizing side effects. Optimized dosages. Your genetic profile can guide doctors in calculating the right dosage of medications for your body. Targeted therapies. For conditions like cancer, genetic testing can pinpoint specific mutations, enabling treatments that target them. Personalized medicine is revolutionizing healthcare by moving away from a one-size-fits-all approach. Youth and biological age are also areas of interest in the future of personalized medicine. Additional types of DNA tests are for diet, fitness, health, and wellness. These can look into metabolism, nutrition, fitness potential, skin and hair, behavior and culture. Health and wellness DNA tests can tell you about genetic risk and carrier status for certain conditions, as well as your predisposition to physical and behavioral traits. Human Genome Project. Human Genome Project, HGP, was an international scientific research project that was successfully completed in 2003 by sequencing the entire human genome of 3.3 billion base pairs of genes. The HGP led to the growth of bioinformatics, which is a vast field of research. Genes are functional units of heredity as they are made of DNA. The chromosome is made of DNA containing many genes. Every gene comprises of the particular set of instructions for a particular function or protein coding. The human cell contains 23 pairs of chromosomes. Genes come in pairs in the same way as the chromosomes. Each parent of a human being carries 2 copies of their genes, and each parent passes 1 copy of genes to their child. This is the reason why the child has many characteristics of both parents. The biological sex of an individual is determined by the X and Y chromosomes, also known as the sex chromosomes. Females inherit an X chromosome from the father for an XX genotype, while males inherit a Y chromosome from the father for an XY genotype. Mothers only pass on X chromosomes. In some cases, a different variation of this matching may happen in the fetus development in the womb, resulting in gender, physical, and biological differences. Best DNA test kits available online. Ancestry Genealogy DNA. You've got questions? We've got ancestors. Your ancestors' lives can tell you so much about the life you're living today. Take Ancestry for a spin and see how their story is your story through records, photos, and more. The simple MyHeritage DNA test will reveal your unique ethnic background and match you with newfound relatives. Discover the specific groups you descend from among 2,114 geographic regions, and take family history to the next level with the most affordable DNA test on the market. LivingDNA discovers where you come from with incredible detail using your DNA. The most detailed ancestry test in the world. One simple cheek swab is all that stands in between you and your unique DNA story. We are pleased to be able to offer the latest world-leading health tests. Understanding your current health empowers you to make mindful choices. FamilytreeDNA discover new types of connections. The only company to offer 3 separate DNA databases: Autosomal DNA, Family Finder, mtDNA, and Y-DNA. FamilytreeDNA is the only place to find the missing connections in your family and break down brick walls. Selfdecode decodes your DNA to give you science-backed insights and actionable recommendations, so you can make the best choices for your body, not someone else's. Nebula Genomics finds what your DNA say about your health and ancestry. Discover your roots and what runs in your family, so you can take action with the most accurate genetic test that decodes 100% of your DNA and guarantees your privacy. #23andMe Ancestry Service, the most comprehensive ancestry breakdown on the market, with over 4,000 regions. Discover where in the world your DNA is from across 4,000 plus regions, in some cases down to the county level.